Hi, welcome to America's Crossroads. Today I'm with Charlie Ochs, and we're going to take you back to Viet Nam. And Charlie was in the radio business and, of course, the Army business at the same time. But in the meantime, I'm going to shut my trap and listen to Charlie.
Okay, well, you want me to tell you about being a journalist in the Army?
Yeah.
Okay. It was, when I joined the Army, the reason I joined the Army was to get the type of job that I wanted. You could join either to get the type of job you wanted or to go where you wanted. And I would have loved to have gone to Germany, but if I'd gone to Germany, I would have been an infantryman, and I'd been there for 6 months, and I'd have been to Vietnam. So I decided, well, be the broadcaster, put in an extra year, and if you go to Vietnam, you get to be in a state-of-the-art TV studio in Saigon, and that's not a bad deal. So lo and behold, I went into the service, did through the basic training, got to the school, went through the school, taught at the school for a year, and then went to Vietnam. Got to Vietnam and was sent to the 9th Infantry Division. Wasn't exactly what I had in mind, but okay, I guess I'm going to be an infantryman. Turned out I was at a public information office with probably, if not the best, one of the best leaders I've ever known, a guy named Major Ray Funderburg. And this guy believed that if you're going to report on the war, you better be in the war. So sure enough, I got into the war, and my main job was to take television correspondents around and get them shot at, get good stories for them. Turned out to be quite an interesting year that I spent in Vietnam.
Well, there's no good war stories unless you're being shot at.
That's right. Yeah, in the end, I met a tremendous number of really talented people. I spent a lot of time working with ABC, and we did a lot of work with the Air Cav, but was in the war on the boats, and I was in the Mekong Delta with the 9th Infantry Division. So we had air cavalry, we had the Mobile Riverine Force, and so I did a lot of that, and then just regular infantry too. Cavalry units with we call them tracks, armored personnel carriers, and tanks. And I operated with all of them, worked with all of them, did stories with all of them, and got injured a couple of times and did some things. And after the year, I was very, very happy with what had happened.
Did you get injured because of people on your staff and things that you weren't
Yeah.
really, or was it the bad guys?
No, it was the bad guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did a lot of good things.
Yeah.
We put together a radio station, a pirate radio station in the Mekong Delta, because the general desperately wanted to have a third star, which he did get. We got it for him, and so we did a lot of things, including we put this radio station on the air and broadcast. Unfortunately, it was one of my guys had been an engineer in the real world, and he took a transmitter from a radar station and tuned it to, I don't know, 94.1 or something. And he did a little too good a job, and it got into Saigon, and Military Assistance Command got a little testy about that. But the general told them, and I'm not going to say what he said.
Oh, okay.
The station stayed on the air.
Oh, good, good.
But we had a lot of fun with that.
Well,
And,
with what you saw there,
Uh-huh.
Charlie, and what you reported on,
uh-huh.
and what got back to the States, was there a
Interesting.
difference of what you saw and what was fed back to the States?
ABC did a great job. ABC was absolutely wonderful.
Mhm.
But some of the people, I'm not going to name any names, I'll give you an example. I had been injured, and so I was back in base camp with my hand all bandaged up, and a guy from another station, another network, came in, and I went to the helipad and picked him up, because we had an orphanage off the base that we worked with a lot, and they had gotten rocketed and mortared the night before, and it was a real mess out there. So I got him and put him in the Jeep with his cameraman, and we were going out there. And he said, I understand this might have been friendly fire. I said, no, there's no way that it was friendly fire. No way at all. And he said, and then he kept hinting about friendly fire all the way out there. It was a couple of clicks away from us. And so we got out there, and his cameraman wandered around doing B-roll, and then he went to do his stand-up, and I had taken him around and shown him the casings that were there that had Chinese symbols on them and Russian on them. Obviously, it was Viet Cong that had done this. And so when he did his stand-up, he stood there and said this was friendly fire. And when he finished, I said, what are you thinking? Why are you doing that? Why on earth would you lie like that? He said, tell you what, kid, you'll learn. An orphanage getting mortared is a good story. That's a great story. And it'll probably get on Cronkite. Well, I just blew it, didn't I? Well, probably get on Cronkite with it. But if it's friendly fire, it's gonna air. I said, but it's a lie. You don't get it, kid. You don't understand.
Right.
We're in business here, and our business is us. You have to build yourself up. But
Well, we see a lot of that in the news business these days.
yeah, it happens, and whenever I see things on television, I always look at it and wonder: is this really the truth, or is it being bent to make it more interesting?
I would go with the latter.
I think you're
Well, thank you, Charlie.
sure.
And it was short, but to the point.
Yeah,
And
that's
thanks for
right.
coming in.
Thank you.
And if we get invaded, you're my man.